I love talking about music because of how much it has helped me get through things over the years, but I wish I were better at describing music. When I talk about music, I can talk about more of how it makes me feel, more about the meaning behind song lyrics for the songs that do have words to them. It's always been my desire to know how to pull music apart. In the same manner, I can talk about food and describe it as spicy or sour or bitter. I wish I could do that with music, but from a more technical aspect. I guess the more music theory aspect. Describe the tempo as being fast, but what is at play making it fast? Identifying what key a song is in just by listening to it. Thus, it will generate whatever effect, things like that. When I eat something sour, you know what face you make when you eat something sour. But when it comes to music, when I hear a song that's sad, sure, it makes me feel a degree of sadness, but I cannot describe it in technical terms. What about it is what made it sad? Like what minor key it's on, probably. For this topic, I'll just talk about whatever I can talk about with music, and maybe one day I'll be able to revisit it and be like, yeah, I can actually explain and describe how a song is made to sound either very energetic or very sad. And you can take a song that already exists in its original key and change it and change the mood of it entirely. So, music affecting my mood is something that it's on a balance. There are times in which I can be more sensitive to whatever music I'm listening to. I know which songs have made me cry before and why. And the reason they made me cry before is because I could relate to them. And there are some songs that are old that I have cried to. And I remember when and why I cried to them, that to this day, if I listen to them again, I will once again find myself crying to them because the circumstances with that matter, that topic, hasn't really changed a lot. In recent years, I discovered another song that I was not expecting for it to make me cry, but it did. So that means I can say I have three songs that have affected me like that. There are songs that have made me laugh, and the songs that have made me laugh have to do with the artist roasting another artist. It could be indirectly, directly. And sometimes when I listen to the song for the first time, I don't even realize that the inspiration for that song had to do with two artists going at each other. But in a situation like that, even if their beef is real in real life, I still remember that is a business. More than likely, it is a business move. Therefore, I don't try to take it too seriously. I tell myself that the problems that those folks have are problems that I'm not relating to. Therefore, I cannot let it affect me. But I can get a laugh out of it. I'm not going to decline that, you know? Now, there are songs that I can appreciate for their subliminal messages, but even if you're wrong about the interpretation you have with the song, it still can serve as a song delivering a subliminal message. And I can talk about political songs. There are some songs that have been critical of governments, some songs that have been critical of people for their choices, their behaviors, their conducts, their lack of discipline, how they are at war with each other when they should be friends with each other, given that you're more closely related to the folks you see out here in the wild more than you'll be ever closely related to, say, celebrities or politicians on the social scale. So, why would you be at war with the people who you actually see face to face as opposed to being more upset, reserving that upsetness for the people who deserve it, who are the people who you don't see them face to face every day, and you don't see them face to face every day for a reason. And then there are the songs that, of course, are more on the romantic side, and I would say the vast majority of music I have ever listened to, it always seemed to be about love and romanticism, but I hate how some genres, I guess I could say, but really this happens in any genre. Some of them have lyrics that just feel very painfully unimaginative, very informal. I look at music as it's art. Art doesn't have to look professional, it doesn't have to be put together, it can be anything. But if that kind of art, if music is going to make it to the public, it's going to be mainstream, I expect a dress code for it. In the same manner that we have like public indecency, I treat music as you can have indecency in music. And I am not very fond of how there is a lot of music with lyrical content that is indecent, because I wouldn't feel proud about blaring that music as I'm driving or while I'm at home. Even if I'm at home by myself, I still don't want to hear that because it doesn't suit my personality. In a situation like that, I will attempt to find a cover version that's decent enough to where, you know, how sometimes artists get creative and they may take the original lyrics of a song and tweak it a little bit to say a profane thing, but a little bit more refined? Well, I'll do that, and if I cannot find that, then I'll just commit to the instrumental version. And the lyrical version, if the voice part happens to be cool and compelling, I'll just listen to it, but rarely, sparingly. But overall, I would say music has more of an uplifting effect in my mood. And I'm grateful that even songs that are sad, that I can appreciate, because I seem to be a person who likes songs in minor keys a little better for some reason. Just because I have sad songs in my playlist doesn't mean that they make me sad. When I reconcile with an old sad song I haven't listened to, the way that I listen to music is I listen to it casually for the first time to decide whether or not I can commit to that work as it is. And then eventually, as I start listening to it and listening to it, I start kind of like picking it apart auditorily. I'm like, what instruments are present? What are they doing? How many of them are there? I try to just exercise my brain like that, try to be like, in the same manner I eat food and I try to figure out what am I tasting. I try to listen to music and figure out what am I hearing. And because I'm doing that, you guys know that I like to learn things. I feel like that's my brain exercise as I'm listening to music. In the same manner that I'm exercising my brain, attempting to describe food when I do food reviews. And it also helps me try to expand my vocabulary a little bit, because it's not like you're talking about these things in the daily, therefore, it may be easy for you to be at a loss for words. But in general, even sad songs don't necessarily have to turn my good day, my happy day, into a somber one. In the same manner that if I'm sad or upset, listening to a happy song doesn't uplift my mood necessarily. And I also find that a little annoying that, you know, if I'm kind of low energy and I'm listening to this high energy song and it's not matching my mind, it won't have the desired effect. If I'm going to listen to a joyful song, if I don't feel compelled to sing along to it or hum along to it, then it's not going to help my mood. And sometimes I want music to match my mood so that I can embrace my mood, but I try to let the music serve as something productive for me. If I'm feeling down and I'm listening to a song about feeling down, it's because the tempo, sound, instruments that are present in that song are appropriate noise for what I'm going through at the moment, but it's not like the music is reinforcing that feeling. My feeling was already there. It's not the music's fault. But there are times in which, say, after I have a bad shift at work or something like that, just something bad happens. I come from somewhere and I had a bad experience. I can use music to help me recover my energy, to help me get my senses back. It can be that I was angry over something and I listen to a song that has angry energy to it. It's like, okay, this song is maintaining my heart rate high, but at least it's a song about being angry, but it can be a song that has funny lyrics to it. Therefore, I let that be what overcomes me at that moment. But music's effect in my mood is something questionable because I don't think that that music is the one controlling me, controlling my mood. I feel like in the same manner that when you're cold, you can run the heater, you can put a jacket on, wear a blanket while you're in bed. I look at music as it changes the ambience to where it will help me with whatever challenge I'm going through if I let it. But it doesn't have to. I have control over it, not the music having control over me. Because over the years, if I were affected 100% by the music I listen to, I don't think I would be out here roaming freely amongst us because of some of the, I guess, violent tendencies that some music may possess. Some of the violent content, violent lyrics that may be expressed during some songs. For music, I look at it as a companion. I need it when I'm driving because I feel like it keeps me more alert. It keeps me better focused, just like back in the good old days when I used to be in school and I needed to do math homework. Math homework used to give me so much anxiety. I needed music. However, for literature, like language arts, English classes, stuff like that, music wasn't very helpful unless it was instrumental, and the instrumental with a softer sound, slower tempo. It could be a disruption actually because it involved reading and writing, and I found myself feeling distracted by voices in my head coming from music. However, if it's music that you're familiar with, then I feel like it wasn't as intrusive. But I feel like when you're reading something, you can either have a musical aid but without vocals to it, or you need silence. I think I'm a better absorber of information when I'm reading in silence. So, yeah, you guys, that's about it when it comes to music affecting my mood. Thank you so much for tuning in. In sum, I have control over that. It's not like music is manipulative of me. It's a tool for me for ambience. In the same manner that sometimes the room may be too bright and I need to like close the blinds a little bit, then music, it's if I need sound to help me get going, I know I can deploy that, but I feel like I'm self sufficient enough to where I don't depend on music as much as I used to. And now I feel like I depend on silence, quietness a little more. But when I'm driving, I want to say that's the one circumstance I can say I cannot negotiate music. Driving in the gym. But day to day, like at any given time, I need music driving more than I need music at the gym. I can work out in silence. It's a little bit jarring at first, but I can do that. But with driving, I find myself, I don't want to say unable to focus, like easily distracted, but I just feel that loss within me, that feeling of I need something, and it's music. I've lost my music before, and that was the longest 3 months of my life. It was difficult. I think it's because as a kid, I always had music in the car. I'm not used to writing in silence. Maybe my brain has been shaped to have music in a car. Okay, that's it. Bye.